Thomas Partey has just been charged with 5 counts of rape and 1 count of sexual assault. These serious charges involve 3 different women and relate to events that allegedly happened between 2021 and 2022. For the past 3 years, many people knew something was going on, but no one in the media could say his name. Now, the silence is over. Partey's contract with Arsenal ended just days before the charges were announced. During those years, Partey kept playing, scoring goals, and being praised by his coach, all while a quiet storm was building behind the scenes. This story is about more than just one player. It's about power, silence, and what football clubs choose to protect. Summer 2022 started like any other preseason, but on a warm July morning, police officers knocked on Thomas Partey's door. They arrested him on suspicion of a serious crime against a woman. British privacy rules meant newspapers could not print his name, so they called him an unnamed Premier League star. Inside training, teammates whispered, yet public silence ruled. Arsenal's lawyers studied the case papers and told the club there was no charge, just an inquiry. Coaches let Partey train as usual, believing that innocence stays the default until proven otherwise. Weeks turned into months. Detectives gathered phone records, hotel logs, and medical notes. In December 2024, the police finally sent evidence to the Crown Prosecution Service, asking if it met the test for court. The CPS asked for more detail, and investigators returned to work. All the while, Partey kept playing, signing shirts, and appearing in glossy club videos about respect and community. Some staff felt uneasy each time the values posters flashed, yet no one spoke on the record. The process felt slow, but football schedules marched on. Fans wondered why truth moved slower than the next match. While detectives kept digging, Arsenal faced a hard choice. It tested every slogan painted on the stadium wall. In February 2025, sporting boss Edu sat with coach Mikel Arteta. They looked at Partey's deal, which would end soon. The midfielder was ever vital on the pitch. Without him, the team's press often fell apart. Reporters kept asking questions the club would not answer. Some board members wanted to sit him out until the case closed. Lawyers warned that stopping an uncharged player could spark a huge lawsuit, much like the one Manchester City lost to Benjamin Mendy. Money matters in football, and the risk could run into tens of millions of pounds. Arteta, who trusted the man he saw each day, pushed for a short extension. He told the media, "Thomas is really important for us," and said no more. Behind closed doors, women's fan groups wrote open letters calling for action. Rival crowds sang crude chants at every away match, turning stadiums into rumor halls. Sponsors watched each headline, wondering if their brand was still safe beside the red shirt. The club's silence grew heavier with every passing week. On July 4th, the dam finally burst. The Crown Prosecution Service filed 6 charges, 5 for rape and 1 for sexual assault, naming Thomas Partey at last. The timing shocked supporters. His Arsenal contract had ended only 4 days earlier, leaving him a free agent. In minutes, social media feeds exploded. Some cheered the long-awaited clarity, while others hurried to defend their old midfield hero. Survivor groups praised the move and asked everyone to respect the court ahead. Arsenal issued one tight line: the player's contract has ended. Ongoing legal proceedings prevent further comment. No apology, no reflection, just legal caution. Sponsors quietly phoned marketing chiefs, weighing risk if vintage shirts with his name stayed on sale. Online shops pulled his jersey by nightfall. Agents across Europe took note. Scouts in Spain, Italy, even Saudi Arabia asked lawyers if signing him might trigger travel limits. Insurance firms warned that any deal would need special clauses in case of guilt. In a press release, Partey's lawyer vowed he would vigorously contest every count. The courtroom countdown had begun. Westminster Magistrates Court will see Partey on August 5th, the first formal step before any jury sits. The hearing will last minutes. A plea, basic bail terms, and a date sent to the higher Crown Court. Lawyers expect a full trial no sooner than spring 2026 because witness lists are long and expert reports take months. Support lines have already been set up by the Metropolitan Police for anyone connected to the case. In North London, the Arsenal Supporters Trust called an emergency forum. Some members want the club to publish a clear safeguarding plan and cooperate openly with advocates for survivors. Others fear harming the presumption of innocence. The Premier League, meanwhile, faces pressure to create automatic suspension rules now that 2 high-profile cases have rocked elite teams within 5 years. Executives study labor law, aware that one wrong move could spark another costly tribunal. Women's football voices add urgency, reminding decision-makers that a growing female fan base expects stronger standards. Broadcasters discuss whether to mute historic highlights featuring Partey until the verdict. Every stakeholder feels the weight of choices still ahead. The next match feels miles away now. Across the Emirates, staff now study every policy line by line. Human resources teams run fresh workshops on respect and consent. Youth coaches invite specialists to speak with academy boys about safe behavior and public life. Arsenal's women, newly crowned European champions, feel frustrated that their success shares headlines with grim legal talk. Captain Leah Williamson says the club must match words with deeds if it wants real trust. Corporate partners, from airlines to soft drink firms, demand quarterly ethics reports before renewing multi-million-pound deals. Analysts warn that one more scandal could slice club revenue by 10%. To calm nerves, Chief Executive Vinay Venkatesham fast-tracks a new code of conduct that covers all staff and players on and off social media. Rival clubs watch closely, guessing the standard may soon become league-wide. Meanwhile, Arsenal signed bright young pivot Martin Zubimendi. Marketing pushes him as a fresh start, a symbol of renewal after storm clouds. Yet banners boasting, "We do the right thing," still hang unchanged around the ground. Fans stare at them, wondering how a slogan turns into action when the cameras move away. Next season will test each bold promise. Sources: 2 possible paths now stretch before Thomas Partey, and each one reshapes football in a different way. If a jury finds him guilty, he faces long years behind bars and a lifetime ban from the sport. Arsenal would likely erase his image from walls and websites, while victims could launch civil claims for damages. The Premier League might speed through strict new rules, forcing clubs to suspend any player as soon as charges land. The other path is acquittal. Then Partey could seek lost earnings, just as Benjamin Mendy won £11 million after his own cleared name. Agents would scramble to place him in Spain, Italy, or Saudi Arabia, and legal experts warn the sum of payouts might scare clubs from early suspensions in future cases. Either way, lawmakers and fan groups now call for an independent body, outside club influence, to judge when a player should step aside. They say justice must protect both fairness and safety, not business alone. Parliament's Sports Committee plans hearings for autumn, inviting survivors, executives, and union leaders. What starts in one courtroom could change the rule book for every pitch worldwide forever and its fans. Ghana woke up to the news with heavy hearts. Partey was more than a player back home. He was a symbol of hope for kids kicking balls on dusty pitches. Now, murals of him in Accra gather new layers of paint as artists replace his face with blank white shapes. The Ghana Football Association moves fast. They say he will not be called up for World Cup qualifiers until legal matters close. School teachers hold talks about role models and respect, using his story as a sharp lesson. In London, mental health groups send quiet support to the 3 women who will testify, reminding the public that online anger can wound in silence. They also open a hotline for young fans who feel confused by seeing a hero fall. Football now stands at a fork in the road. Boardrooms fill with lawyers, but terraces fill with feelings. Supporters under 16 grow up in a world where a phone streams every misstep. They want teams to act fast, say sorry fast, and fix harm fast. Broadcasters, too, face a choice: keep replaying old highlights for clicks, or invest airtime in honest debate about power and safety. Academies redesign lessons, teaching rising stars that talent earns cheers only when matched by respect off the field. Player unions, once silent, push for clear mental health support and stronger whistleblower shields. Governments hint at new laws forcing clubs to publish yearly safeguarding audits just like financial accounts. Charity leaders welcome the idea. Some executives grumble, yet they know public trust is priceless. The Partey case turned a spotlight most leagues tried to dim. Now its bright beam swings across every badge, boot, and brand. Whether clubs step into that light with open eyes or shrink back will decide the sport's future story. Fans, at last, will judge with their wallets. Thomas Partey's trial is more than a court date. It is a mirror held up to football. A guilty verdict could bring prison, bans, and big changes in club rules. An acquittal may spark hard questions about fairness and damages. Either way, the game must face its own choices. Fans, sponsors, and young players watch every step. Arsenal's new code, the league's talk of auto suspensions, and Ghana's lesson plans show that pressure already works. Yet banners alone will not heal anyone. Respect, safety, and open eyes must become daily habits, not press lines. When the judge speaks, the spotlight will only grow brighter. Football can shrink from that light or stand tall and change. What happens next will show if the sport we love can truly keep its promise to protect all who believe in it deeply.